Hello, and welcome to Not a Serious Sports Show. Sports news, but make it gossip. I'm Joni, and we are back for another week of the drama and pop culture surrounding sports. Very top of the podcast, we are going to have a little corrections corner, which will probably be a common occurrence. The first one's kind of important, though. So last week we were talking about Jackson Mahomes and what a creep he is, and I said that he had been convicted on an assault charge, which he has not. His trial is pending, and obviously innocent until proven guilty. Please don't sue us. There is a video there's a video of it, so if you would like to see for yourself, you can check that out. Also, what else do we fuck up, Zuzu? We said
it's dopamine dressing, not serotonin dressing. I'm too fucking stupid to know the difference between that, honestly. But dopamine dressing makes more sense because it's also an alliteration. And as you can see today, I dopamine dressed. I am wearing
beautiful color
Adidas by Marimekko collaboration with Adidas. So it's Adidas, and I'm giving true Slav energy today.
You look amazing. Suit. You're a vision, and you match your bedspread. It's very cute. So on that note, we're gonna start out with our favorite fit of the week from our athlete. We talked about last week, one of the things that we love about sports is the way that athletes, especially male athletes, are leading the way in men's fashion, and they're not afraid to take risks. And so my favorite fit this week was Jacksonville Jags defensive end Roy Robertson Harris. He wore this cotton candy colored blazer. It kind of looked like that marble art that you would do when you're a kid.
I'm looking it up now because I haven't looked, and
it was the one I sent you on Instagram.
Okay,
so you have seen it. Yeah, so it's called the Miami Swirl Blazer, and he paired it with these silk pants. Again, the blazer's like pink pastel and blue pastel swirled, and it was just gorgeous. It was so fun. It was definitely dopamine dressing. And so this is by Tom Marchitelli, who, if you don't know Marchitelli, you should. He does suits, especially. He has a cool backstory. He was a accountant on Wall Street. He's from Hoboken, and at the age of 41, he decided to leave that and start a tailoring business.
Oh my gosh!
Yeah, so he has this company called Gentleman's Playbook. You can follow them on Instagram. Apparently, one of the first athletes to really back him was Chase Daniels, who was a former Mizzou quarterback. So have a soft spot in my heart for him. And he just garnered this customer base of elite athletes. And now he does these custom-made, tailored clothes for some of the biggest stars in the NFL, NBA, Major League Baseball, WWE, golf. He's really all over the place. Yeah, he's made this.
Dope.
He's made this brand for himself in a pretty short time. He started in 2014, and his stuff is just really playful and colorful. And he has a strong print. Loves a strong print.
I love a fucking strong print, and I'm looking at this again because you're like, this man's outfit, and I was like, who? But now that I'm seeing it, I am remembering it because I was taken aback. It really is like cotton candy swirl.
Yes.
It is giving 90s children's art in the best way. When you do those little things where you could swirl the colors together.
Yes, that's the marble art. Yeah.
Yes. And it's so good. And honestly, the only thing that I am stressed about was the satin type. I don't know if they're silk.
They're silk. They're silk.
They look like satin, only because it's a very high sheen, and I was getting a little stressed out thinking about how much ironing would have to go into that outfit. And as you can look, if you see the picture that the Jaguars posted of him, you can see there's a very strong ironing crease, and that takes me out of the experience a little bit, just because I can think about how that would be stressful to me. Whoever did his ironing was probably
It's not the
material.
easiest thing for a man on the go, and this was
It is
a away
not.
game for the Jags. So yeah, he like had to get off the plane and rock it, and
I mean,
it still
just
looks
like
pretty good. But you're right, it's
just
not
a
the
shout out
most.
to that designer. You know, if you want any tips, I'm sure you're looking for them from me. But you know, try to think of a more like wrinkle-free fabric. I recommend that because
This is more of a maybe should have been a home game outfit where he wasn't having to
yes.
get off the plane. But I adore this,
That
and I
being
think
said, I love his fucking Goyard little duffel travel weekender bag.
oh yeah,
Très chic. Très chic.
it really completes the look.
I don't know why I'm saying très chic like I say it. I've never said that before today, like
Très chic
for at least 10 years. But anyway, I love that look, and yeah, it's very effortless.
It's fun. He looks like
so
a unicorn. He looks like a unicorn.
Yes.
He's got the color palette for it. All right. So for our next segment, we have our statistics-free sports news. And as will probably be a staple for a while, we have to do a little Taylor and Travis update. They're sort of the inspiration behind this podcast, the Swiftie wave of NFL interest. Don't come.
Please, like, you cannot take this away from me. Like,
well, the Swifties have their targets locked in on someone else, which we're going to talk about. So unless we really piss them off, we won't be the persona non grata in the Swiftie world. So first of all, I just want to talk about the Taylor effect. Like, do the Chiefs and Travis play better when she's there, as opposed to left to their own devices, as the fucking embarrassing infographic that the NFL put up? I mean, the stats suggest that they do. At the games that she's been in, they're 4-0. They're 2-2 when she skipped out. And Kelce has, I know it's supposed to be stats free, but I will say he has 432 yards with her in attendance versus only 151 when she's not there. So something to be said about the Taylor effect.
Numbers, and I know one of those numbers is higher than the other.
It is. And I think also we do have to say last week, it was obviously, for me, very tragic. The Chiefs lost to the Broncos, who suck. But Mahomes was sick. He had the flu, and some other players were possibly recovering from the flu. Which, like, what the hell, Patrick? You didn't take you didn't take anything from Mr. Pfizer. You didn't get your double and done.
Your BFF told you to get both at once.
I'm sure that Travis is so disappointed.
He probably just sent him like a crying face and was like, bro.
The Broncos seem to think, though, that there was something to say about Taylor not being there, because when they beat the Chiefs, they played Taylor Swift music throughout the stadium, which is an obnoxious flex. Funny, but obnoxious.
I have to say, that is the level of pettiness, though, that I do enjoy. And so to see it come into sports is delightful to me. Because, like, that is what I'm literally here for.
Absolutely. It's, and if you're going to be very public about your relationship, you have to expect that kind of shit talking surrounding it in a sports venue. So it's all, it's all fun and games. So we'll see what happens this weekend, because I don't think that Taylor will be going to Germany. The Chiefs are playing in Germany against the Dolphins.
Okay. So can I say, Joni, when I opened these notes up, I did not realize, I know that the Dolphins are a team, but I thought that they were playing with Dolphins in Germany.
They might.
I was like, fuck. This is amazing.
So fun.
I would love. Yeah, so, I mean, I have to say, like, these German and European games are very interesting to me as someone, like, who's lived in Europe. Yeah. Who's lived in Europe, who's from Europe. Like, I didn't really think there was that big of a, like, population that was into it, but there are. Like, there are people who, I mean, obviously in Germany you have a lot of expats, and same in the UK, but, like, even people who are from the UK.
There's a huge Chiefs fandom specifically in Germany. I don't know why, what the history of it is, but I follow, like, a German Chiefs Instagram page. I'm a little bummed, though. So different teams in the NFL have now different spots. They're either going to do their Expo games in Germany, England or Mexico, and the Chiefs got Germany, and I wanted them to have England, have London. We have friends there. Shout out to George, who is a British Chiefs fan. I know you're listening, George. I would have loved to go see them play in London, but I think it's really cool that they're opening it up and they're trying to create a more global appeal. So we'll see how they do in Germany.
You just want a montage of the Chiefs doing the I can't seem to get enough
yes,
of
winning
you.
London,
yeah,
winning
and,
London,
doing that montage on the buses and everything.
Actually, tie-in when the Jags were in England last week or 2 weeks ago. They played 2 weeks in London, but they Roy Robertson Harris, who was wearing our beautiful suit, he did an interview, a high tea interview, where he talked about being a dad, and it was very cute. But yeah,
it's really sweet.
It was very sweet. Yeah, so we'll see how the Chiefs do in Europe without Taylor. I don't know. The Dolphins are going to be that's a big game. Former player Tyreek Hill plays the Dolphins, so there's a little bit of special competition there. We'll see. I don't know. They looked really shitty last week, but I believe in them. We'll see. Another Taylor Travis story you've probably seen is Travis's PR person fucked up this week.
Okay, do you think it was a fuck up, or do you think this was on purpose?
I mean, if it's on purpose, are you trying to get fired? Because maybe she can't handle the heat anymore. So if you don't know what we're talking about, Travis Kelce's PR person, Pia Malihi, it was her birthday, and she was reposting things that her friends, when you write your friend a little Instagram birthday message. And one of them had a photo of Taylor Swift in the stands at Arrowhead with a big clown emoji over her face. Which is a universal symbol for this person is this fucking clown. This person's an idiot. This person's a fool. And the internet was not happy with Pia. Your job is fucking PR. This is, I know she's saying this was an innocent mistake, and the friend is saying, I was just didn't want to take attention away from Pia, so I covered Taylor Swift's face. That's bullshit. And
but with a fucking clown emoji, come on, people
absolutely
are out here
not
covering people's faces left, right, center. If you have kids or whatever, and celebs do that all the time. But guess what? They don't use a fucking clown emoji.
We all know you use the smiley face, Pia. You don't use, or Pia's friend. You don't use the clown emoji.
Yeah, which part of me makes me think I'm always keen to embrace a very low stakes conspiracy theory.
Love,
and,
yeah. You think Pia wants the people to know that she's over it?
I think maybe she is over it, and she doesn't want to do the job.
If so, she is the worst PR person ever, because what could be better as a PR specialist than the intense exposure and positive attention that Travis is garnering through dating Taylor? So if this was on purpose, even if it wasn't, I'm not sure that Pia is qualified for her job.
Yeah, that's not a good look. I mean, maybe
she was birthday drunk. Maybe she was a couple champagne cocktails deep and just didn't even register it. But then again, her friend, that's stupid of her friend.
Yeah, that's pretty fucking dumb. I mean, to me, it indicates reading way too much into this, but to me,
let's do it.
That Pia has been bitching about Taylor, maybe not even Taylor, but Taylor's team, and her friend is yeah, I know you fucking hate this bitch, so I'm gonna put a clown face emoji, and then Pia shared it without
I think that's absolutely what happened, and it's not a good look.
It's not cute. I mean, it is cute because I think it's fucking hilarious, but it's not cute in the sense that you are getting fired now.
We'll see what happens. No public word yet on if Travis has given her the boot, but I wouldn't be surprised if he did, and I wouldn't blame him. So on to our next story. Kim Kardashian is extending her Skims line. She's launched a men's Skims line, and the cover, or the guy who's the star of the campaign, is this guy, Nick Bossa, who is this shredded 49ers defensive end. Talking about lots of defensive ends today. And he's got a lot of attention with being the center of this modeling campaign, which launched last week. Unfortunately, it turns out he's a bit of a ding dong for in his playing and his politics.
Well,
yeah, so he's been way under delivering on the field since he held out earlier this summer for an extended contract, and subsequently he missed training camp, and he's just been like a real dud for the 49ers this year. But more importantly, he's got some controversial political views, which we'll talk about in a second. Anyway, when this first launched, though, people were really excited because he's, like I said, he's like hot and cut.
Yeah, I'm devastated to learn that he is a fucking problematic child.
Yeah. So apparently, like the gays in particular were lusting after him because he's like square jawed and supremely cut. But then they basically, again, like gay Twitter, gay TikTok, no one gets to the dirt faster. So they quickly uncovered these like problematic tweets that he's had, basically saying that Beyonce's music is trash. That is a direct tweet.
Okay.
Excuse me?
Fucking uncalled for. Okay, like
how dare you, sir?
Like, I would rather him say that he was at January 6th than say this.
So that's the other side of the coin. He's got tweets like reposting MAGA stuff and Republican talking points and like I love Trump. Yeah. So it's also like, what the fuck, Kim?
Okay, but like, I'm sorry, calling Beyonce's music trash, that is a bipartisan trash take. Like,
absolutely.
And I'm not standing up for Republicans at all. But I'm just saying that's fucked.
We already know that Kim loves a problematic Trump-loving man, or has a soft spot in her heart for that type of man. But at least Kanye supported Beyonce, full stop. Beyonce had the best album of all time.
Wow. We're going, like, that is actually hilarious.
It's a deep cut.
It's a truly deep cut. And you know what, though? Yeah. I don't know what to say to that, because
there's no defending it. Too far, Kim.
No, there's no defending it at all. And I mean, there's no defending him. It's just like, girl, there are 1,000 hot dudes in sports. Like, truly pick one. Maybe, like, I don't know, have your team do, like, a deep dive of, like just, like, type in control F his Twitter, MAGA.
Beyonce.
It's not that hard.
So Skims is also, now that they have this mail line, they are going to be the official underwear partner of the NBA and the WNBA. And I don't know, did you see the PR press release photo of Kim with the two, I don't even know who they are, some NBA bigwigs presumably, or WNBA bigwigs, but it was like the most awkward photo. Kim Kardashian, something is happening with her waist in the photo that is like very troubling.
Okay, but that family has like an unhinged level of Photoshop. Like, and when I say unhinged, it's not like me trying to like, you know, like make my arm look skinnier when I'm like,
no, or me like, fixing my nose. Like, it's like this is like, they're getting rid of body parts. Like, they're getting rid of bones.
Madame does not have a spleen. Like, Madame does not have a pancreas.
It like made her vagina look like very it's a weird photo.
It's so funny. It like is really cracking me up just thinking about it. Like,
well, and so now I want to know.
Have eyes.
Yeah, we know that's not what a body looks like. We've seen people before. I do want to know now. So one of the things with the new Skims, like this next season's line, there's the nipple bra, the bra with the built-in nipples. So I want to know if any of the NBA players are going to wear that for us. I would like to see that.
I hope that nipple line is going to be unisex.
It should be. Equal opportunity nipple.
Yeah, free the nip. Indeed. Actually, I will say, like, that. Okay, so first of all, I wish I could buy Skims. I can't afford them. I mean, I probably buy them, but like, you know, it's not like they're expensive.
They are expensive.
I will say this: I went to
and their sizes are insane.
Oh, they're insane. I went to Bloomingdale's once because I was bra shopping like a 13-year-old.
Are you there, God? It's me, Zuzu.
It's me, Zeus, and I really need a new bra. And I was like, oh, like, what is this? Like, oh, Skims. And I like touched the garment, and I was like it was, oh, I have not touched fabric like that. Like, I have to say, like, I don't know what the fuck she's doing, but like, they felt really good. And like, I had never been interested in like her like Skims before. Like, I don't even like feel like, oh, like the minimizers, whatever, but it was like the loungewear, like that was fucking unreal. And Kim, you can sponsor us if you want.
Please do. I mean, at least she's delivering then if it's,
no,
you know.
I mean, I will say this, like, I don't know how they hold up, but like the quality of the material felt fucking fabulous. And like, it does make me really glad to see that she is doing this for like not just the NBA but the WNBA, because it's like, yes, girl, like the WNBA,
yeah,
it's there, and like people do not give it the attention that it deserves. And like, I think that this is like a good way for her to use her brand in like a positive way, right?
Yeah, I wonder if it's going to turn into like, you know, like the 90s, like Calvin Klein. That was such a big get, like to be the, you know, nothing comes between me and my Calvins.
Mm-hmm.
Like you had a lot of sports stars and big time actors like, yeah, would model for them. So I don't know. We'll see.
Yeah.
I think it's a interesting pairing. Kim Skims and the NBA and WNBA.
I mean, listen, at the very least you can say, like, if you don't like him, whatever, I don't care. Like, I find her entertaining. But like,
she's a genius.
Yeah, at the very least you can say this. Like, that's a woman-owned brand.
Fuck yeah.
And it's now the official underwear for like basketball in America.
Basketball.
It's basketball's official underwear.
The official underwear of basketball.
But I do kind of love that, and I think that is like one thing that I noticed about Skims when I was at Bloomies was like they come in like a beautiful range of skin tones, so you can get something that like is nude,
yeah,
and no matter what,
and whatever
like,
your shade is,
and like, you know what, I'm all for that, and I'm all for comfort and like sponsor us.
They could be slightly more size inclusive, but that's, you know, just something to think about, Kim.
Well, that's, yeah, we definitely need to go there, Kim.
Yeah, we'll talk. Okay, so I'm gonna jump ahead in the notes, but I want to talk about, while we're still kind of on the NBA, I want to talk about Victor Wembanyama. This is a request from my dad to talk about Joe. Joe is his favorite sports team is the San Antonio Spurs. He's a big NBA guy, so he was like, "You got to talk about Victor." So if you don't know, Victor Wembanyama was the #1 draft pick. He is a French player. He's got an African background, but he's this prodigy, and he's only 19. He has all this interest and buzz surrounding him. And so he played the first game of the season. It was kind of like slow start, but he's really starting to pick up and be a game changer, literal game changer for the Spurs. The other night they played the Suns, and he had a really impressive second half. They came back from a 20-point deficit and they beat them. He was playing against Kevin Durant, who's like his personal hero, which I'm sure was like mind-blowing to like actually like dunk on your hero. And he had 18
points.
Be
like me, like, I don't know, like going to a historic palace with Anne Boleyn, like.
Exactly, like you're with your idol.
Yeah.
So, but
Anne Boleyn, you want to do that?
Do you want to be on the podcast, Anne? But what was also really fabulous is for the Halloween game, his fit of the night, he came dressed as Slender Man.
Okay.
And he is 7'4".
This is glorious.
It's terrifying.
This is so good. Also because like, Joni, when you sent this to me, it like sent us like this, like one of those like really small pics, and I was like, what am I looking at? And then you sent it, and I was like, holy fuck? This is unhinged. And
it's so good. He's wearing like a white, like mesh mask over his face, and he is wearing like the suit, and he's obviously the perfect body for it. He is 7'4".
He is like, he looks like Slenderman.
It's
like,
terrifying.
It's insane. Like, he looks the part. Like, honestly, don't show those girls that are in jail this photo because they would.
Not the Slender Man stabbing.
I mean, I don't want to make light of it, but like, this is legit. Like, this looks fucking terrifying.
If I saw him in the woods dressed like this, I would run.
I would immediately just drop to the floor like a fainting goat and let him kill me.
7'4". He's the tallest active player in the NBA, and there's pictures online of him with other celebrities, and they look like shrimps. This man is so freaking tall. Like, next to Magic Johnson, who I think is like 6'8", or like some very tall man. He looks petite.
You would look crazy. Like an actual like Bratz doll next to him.
I'm like barely 5 foot. That would be an amazing photo op. I want to do that. But I think it seems like so far it's early days, but the Spurs have gone on a 6-0 run, and it seems like he is delivering for them, which is incredible because again, he's 19 years old. It's probably a bit of a culture shock.
Sure.
But the amazing Coach Popovich. Do you like that name, Zeus?
I was gonna say
he's Serbian. He's Serbian and Croatian. Serbian and Croatian. He's one of yours. So I love Coach Popovich. He is Pop. He's the best. He's head coach of the Spurs. He's been coaching for, God, it's got to be, I feel like almost 30 years, almost like as old as me. But he's also, like, he's an old white guy, but he's big on social justice. He's loudly supportive of Black Lives Matter, very anti-Trump, does a lot of amazing charity work in San Antonio. Just like a cool dude.
We love to see an older white man who is not a Trump supporter.
Yeah, absolutely. So. He's very outspoken anti-Trump, so we love that.
I love that sorry, go on.
No.
Finish your thought.
No, I was just going to say he has worked with some of the greats. He's coached Tim Duncan and David Robinson, and he has come out and said, like, I think this kid has what it takes to be a superstar, not just the height, not just the talent, but he said mentally, like, he has that drive, he has that mindset, like he could really be the real deal.
Which is so good to hear, honestly, because that was the thing I was going to comment on. Like, you know, if you become this big star, have this huge career at such a young age, mentally, you're playing against yourself for the rest of your life. And like, that is, I mean, I can't even imagine the anxiety that might cause or the stress, but the fact that he is so young and his coach has so much confidence in him and his ability to be strong mentally, like, that is beautiful. And I think honestly,
Pop is like a great person for him to play for, whether or not he stays with the Spurs long term. It's a great person to come into the league and work with.
And like almost mentor him in a way, like, you know, in the sense that he clearly is a coach that cares about his players.
Yeah.
And we're not going to get that in every coach. So
no. I mean, maybe
really
it would be cool if he stuck with the Spurs. I mean, you never know, like someone like LeBron, who also started when they were 18 and has played for so many different teams, like you don't know what's going to happen over the course of a career, but maybe he'll become like a Spurs staple player, and that's certainly what they're hoping. So there is this one thing about Victor Wembanyama. Did you hear about Britney Spears getting slapped by his security team in Vegas?
That was him?
Yeah. Okay. So it wasn't him. Like, he didn't slap her. Let's not get in trouble again. No,
that was his team. Oh God, yeah. Please don't sue us.
Yeah. Don't. So again, there's a video of it, much like the Jackson Mahomes situation, and they're in Vegas. They're at, I think it's the Aria, but anyway, she like runs up to him and she goes to like tap him on the shoulder. I don't know if she knew. She said she was a fan, but probably she is. But even if she wasn't, like, he's just like a specimen. So she goes up, she taps him, and his security guard immediately like flips back his hand and hits her in the face, and it's all on camera.
I saw this video. It's not cute.
It's not cute.
It's actually like, I remember when this happened, and I remember being like, okay, there is like, before I saw the video, I was like, oh, maybe, you know, like, his security's extra cautious, like, maybe, you know, like, it wasn't as bad as it sounds, like, maybe they just sort of were like, hey, like, what are you doing? But then I saw the video and I was like, oh no, like, even if this is not like multi-Grammy award winning Britney Spears, like, you cannot do that to people.
No,
you truly can't. And the fact
as
that
a security guard, it's obviously your job to be on guard, but you can't be that reactive. No. You need to assess what's actually happening in the situation.
Sorry, like, a 5'3" blonde girl running at someone is probably not going to be the threat that you need to, like.
Yeah, that makes me scared. It makes me scared thinking about what the reaction would have been with somebody else. It could have been me. It could have been me. It could have been me.
No, but that is, and also the fact that, like, you know, Britney has a platform and she can, like, share that and, you know, be aware. And she did. But, like, what if that's happened before and to people who are not Britney Spears? But also, Jesus fucking Christ, hasn't that girl been through enough?
Hasn't she been through enough? Leave Britney alone.
Yeah, I mean, that's kind of funny that was his team. Like, that is just like one of those weird pop culture moments where you're like, it all is one.
It's mind-boggling. And I do think that the security guard, I'm pretty sure, is a Spurs employee. Like, he was just somebody who was appointed to him. So not a great look. Anyway, that's definitely old news, but it was a little bit of just like, I don't know, just a funny thing about his security guard smacked Britney Spears. So the last thing I want to talk about for sports news is Zach Wilson. Good old Zach, filling in for Aaron Rodgers. He took a lot of heat last week for going home to visit his girlfriend. So in the past, there's been like rumors that Zach Wilson is a bit of a MILF man, that he's had relationships of a sexual nature with his mom's friends. No. Yeah. It's like a very Page Six kind of, you know, Daily Mail rumor, but there's all these like accounts of him, sleeping with his mom's friends and his mom's friends finding out about not being the only one.
He needs to be on that show.
What show?
It was like MILF Island or something like that.
Oh, I'm sure he would love that. Yeah. Although now he is dating an age-appropriate model named Nicolette Delano. So he went home to see her over the bye week for the Jets. Well, some people were very pissed off about it. And
like who?
Okay, so like sports pundits. This it started out with this guy on New York talk radio talking about the fact that, you know, the Jets are 3-3 and he should be training instead of visiting his family and hanging out with his girlfriend. Luckily, the Giants did win the game. They ended up beating, or not the Giants. The Jets ended up beating the Giants on a game-winning field goal. But I think it's interesting. The reason I wanted to talk about it is, like, what do you think about that? Because I think more than any other career or even with public figures, I think maybe with politicians, but other than that, like, with athletes, people feel so entitled to how they spend their time during the season because there's the competitive aspect of it. Like, it's not like that with singers or models or actors. People don't feel that sort of ownership of their time, I guess.
Well, like, in terms of politics, I get why people might have that opinion about politics because it's like
because it's taxpayer dollar. Exactly.
Okay, but this is like, I'm sorry, this is like absolutely unhinged. You know what? That man, these people fucking like wake up at like 5 a.m, I assume, and like, you know,
probably.
Well, they train all the time. Like, they deserve a mental break. Like, you can't go like that. And
all the time.
That's fucked up. And
Yeah.
anyone who wants to say that people should not get downtime and spend time with their families during the season, you can come fucking see me. Because, like,
I do not disagree. I guess the counter argument is, you know, these people are making millions of dollars and it's an 18-week season and you can like lock down. So Travis Kelce also got caught up in this because he went on Friday to the World Series game in Texas, and then the Chiefs did lose, and so people like Shannon Sharp and other like any old Chiefs people were talking about how it was an awful look and it was inappropriate, and I don't know.
I mean, I think that's an extremely upsetting way to look at it. I mean, I think it kind of comes, this is going to sound super like, I don't know, like European snobby of me, but like I think that there is this like weird like work ethic in America where people are encouraged to go, 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 and you can't take any time off for yourself. And I think that's not okay, and that's how burnout happens. And guess what? They're human beings. Like, I'm sorry, when I've had a long day at my job, like I want to like hang out with, my boyfriend, play my Switch, watch my Bravo, like, you know,
yes, please, yeah.
And I think that at the like, what would you rather them do? Like, do you want them to go home and be like a robot and just like watch old games?
Yes, no. I think people expect everyone to be like a Tom Brady, just complete.
Well, how about those people go play ball? How about that?
Yeah, absolutely.
And you know what? Tom Brady's a fucking robot. I'm sorry, but we all know that.
We do know that.
The only reason he's anywhere is because of Gisele's witchcraft, and we all know that too.
That's
a topic for another day.
Absolutely true. I mean, there are like it is crazy though. Like there are athletes who, especially top athletes, if you're the superstar of the team, who like miss the birth of their children for games.
That's horrible. I mean, I understand like sometimes things like birth, like you can't really plan that. And like, you know what? Yes, I get if your kid has a birthday on a game day, like you're contractually obligated to play that game.
There, yeah.
And you know what? You can buy her a pony because like you're making like $50 million, right? For like
buy her love.
Yeah, buy her love, and it's fine. But like, I also think that it's these people are making so much money, and I think that the answer is that if you're thinking that they're getting paid way too much to be able to go to like, I don't know, do a human activity on their day off. Well, maybe don't pay them that much.
Yeah, exactly.
Maybe we should maybe they should be paid like slightly less. I mean, obviously, I think they are talented and that they certainly deserve compensation for their talents. But like,
yeah, it's a weird phenomenon because I don't think there's anything else like that where people would so object to you taking personal time. And I guess it's because it's like a competition and you're supposed to be putting everything into winning, and it's like a very bizarre dynamic. And the idea of like not being there for like the birth of your child, or like I know there have been athletes who have lost loved ones and like played the next day, and it's just it's very intense.
I can't imagine doing that, and like the psychological toll that would have is so upsetting. And also, I will say this, like, yes, they have an off season, but like.
But you can't control life and when things happen.
When things happen, and I don't know. I just think that is like such a shitty attitude. And if you want a robot, just clone Tom Brady and Aaron Rodgers, have them have babies, and like just put those all on teams. Like I don't know.
Aaron Rodgers is a different breed altogether. I do think there probably is something to be said about like paying your dues and like if you're more established and having a better season, which I think is why people didn't say anything about Travis until they lost.
Yeah.
Whereas Zach Wilson, they were like right away like this fucking guy.
But it's this kind of like weird ownership that comes with sports fandom, right? Like it's like these people are performing for you.
For you.
You don't own them. You don't own their time. Like you really don't. And I think that is sort of like it's not a war, you know what I mean? Like, it's not like...
stakes aren't that high.
Yeah, right. And I think that for a lot of people, because sports is so important to them, like, that becomes how they process that. And all I'm going to say is, like, I'm sorry.
Let Zach Wilson go apple picking with his girlfriend.
If Zach Wilson was out here, like, I don't know, going to, like, the club and, like, coming out shit-faced at 4 a.m. with, like, 10 models on his arm, I'd be like, well, maybe, like, don't drink on a school night. Like,
but you know what's funny? I don't think people would say as much about that. I don't know, again, maybe with Zach Wilson because they're not having the greatest season, and yeah, but people expect athletes to party. Again, you're probably right, not during the season. It's,
yeah,
I don't know.
I just thought
he was having a very wholesome Utah weekend, and it just became this very weird.
Let the man pick a fucking apple. Let him take his girlfriend and have her take some cute Insta photos.
Let him be the Insta boyfriend for a change, please. All right, well, speaking of partners, we have our WAG of the week.
Someone I'm very excited about.
Yes. I feel like I've done just like a lot of throwbacky things. So I was going to say her name is Ciara for all you fly fellows. I don't know if that's culturally relevant with the kids these days, but anyway, it's Ciara, Russell Wilson's wife and entertainer extraordinaire.
Mononym Ciara. I love Ciara. She, first of all, like, I would love to do like a bit of like a expose on Russell because he like says some like very hilarious things that are like, they're not like problematic. They're just like, bro, calm down. So like, I imagine she like must be like fucking, I mean, she's gorgeous.
Obviously.
She can sing like no one's business. She can 1-2 step the night away.
Let me see.
1-2 step. And then she also like must have like a very like calming personality to put up with someone like Russell Wilson. So like
with his intensity,
yeah. So like, good on you, Ciara.
They have 3 children. She is currently pregnant with their 4th child, which is kind of what made me think of her because she's posted some like bump photos recently, and she just looks so glowing earth goddess.
I do love that. That is really cute. And like, they seem to have like she seems to be like totally loving her life as like a hot bitch NFL mom.
The other reason that she was on my radar and what's sort of newsworthy is she just had a birthday, and Russell Wilson, to celebrate, rented out an entire Waffle House in Denver.
I'm just like, what is it with celebrities and Waffle Houses? Like, first Lana. I
think it's supposed to like Sturgill Simpson has a whole like song about it. I think it's supposed to show that you're relatable. Like, I go to Waffle House and it's like,
I love waffles. I just feel like,
have you ever been to a Waffle House? You probably haven't, have you?
I didn't know that it was. I thought it was just like a Waffle House.
No, it's Waffle House. They're very, I think they're definitely everywhere, but they are, I think of them as being Midwestern. Like the first time I went to one.
We only have IHOPs and Denny's here.
No, there's definitely Waffle Houses in Maryland, but not to dox you. But where we live, there are Waffle Houses. And like the whole thing is like how you like, do you get smothered hash browns, or they cook everything on a grill top. So it's an experience. It's like Benihana for waffles.
Okay. I'll have to try. There's definitely not one. There's
You're looking it up.
Yeah, there's only Waffle House I can find that's like within. Yeah, the closest Waffle House, I believe, is actually in Dumfries, Virginia.
Okay, yeah. I mean, they're definitely like a more rural, southern, Midwest thing. But anyway, they're great.
I want to go.
Yeah, they're great. They're great. But it did make me laugh because Ciara, yes, that is what we're talking about. Ciara has like famously said some things about like her diet.
So I brought this up to Joni's attention because this has been living in my head rent-free since I think 2015. Like, it's been almost a decade. It's been almost a decade, and I think about this interview a little too often. And it was an interview for, I think, either Women's Health or Shape or some kind of like fitness magazine, and it talked about how she lost 40 pounds when she started dating Russell Wilson, and I was like, what? You know, like, I mean, I love to read gossip sites. So obviously people were like bringing up the quotes from this. And the one that has stuck with me is that she like basically said like, food like will stay with you. And like she's like, I don't eat pasta because I like it'll I'm gonna pull up the direct quote, but she basically implied that she like does not eat
She
pasta.
says that she takes a minute to think about if she really wants to eat something, and then she walks away and comes back because like the food will always be there. It's like very haunting, and it's a lot of mental gymnastics surrounding food. So I was just like,
hilarious, and when I say hilarious, I mean dark. This is the quote.
Okay, let's hear it.
The food isn't going anywhere. You know those days when you think you have to have a plate of pasta right now?
Fuck yeah, familiar.
Every second of the day. When I'm trying to be good, I take a minute to ask myself, do you really need to eat all this crazy stuff? It will
crazy stuff like pasta.
I'm like, yeah. Like,
I do.
And also it's not crazy. I don't know. I guess like what I'm trying to say is like I was a little like when I read that, I was like, that does not sound like a potentially healthy attitude towards food. That being said, it seems like Waffle House is
the exception to the rule.
And you know what? We all have our, favorite things. And I'm just like, all right, girl, just know that the Waffle House is worse than pasta. Don't come for pasta, please.
Ciara, the Waffle House will still be there. It's just such an odd take. But other than that, we do love, no shade to Ciara. I think
I love her.
She's also, I think it's really nice to see what her and Russell have done in the Denver community. Last week, it was revealed that they gave $100,000 to 10 different Denver charities, so $1 million overall. And I think that's cool. Again, she's just one of these like superstars in her own right, who then also has this sports partner that she has to support. What a powerful woman you are, Ciara.
I mean, I wonder if Taylor should, if she is thinking correctly, in her right mind, she should be calling Ciara up and being like, hey girl, what are some
Take some notes.
Because, I mean, in my head, like, she is making it work. I mean,
I'm sure tip number 1 is don't let your husband play for the Denver Broncos, but
well, I don't think Travis.
But they beat the. But I have no room to talk because they beat the Chiefs last week. Oh my god, so embarrassing! So embarrassing.
Miracles happen once in a while if you believe.
If you believe, there can be miracles. Oh well. Thank you guys so much for joining us. I think that about wraps it up for this week. I'm personally looking forward to next week, looking forward to seeing what happens in Germany for the Chiefs. Hopefully they enjoy swimming with dolphins, swimming with the German dolphins.
They're going to have a great time. The dolphins are so cute in Europe.
The best German dolphins. But we will be back next week to talk about not serious sports stuff. I am Joni, and this is Zuzu. We are signing off, wishing you a good week, and we will see you back here
next week.
Next week, yeah. That was awkward at the